Oh my God, hi, are you going to join, Lauren? Then this might be good for you. All right. I should plug my computer in. Excuse this noise. Okay. This week's flow is going to be really recovery based. We're actually going to start on our backs and we're going to spend a good amount of time there. So if anyone is in the same boat of having just raced or you're coming off of a really big movement weekend, whether that is a long run or cycling or hiking, whatever you were doing, this is a great flow for you. So today I'm really going by feel. I am coming off of a half marathon race and my quads, everything felt really good until I needed to move around today, and my quads felt really like they weren't able to support my body. So we're going to keep things pretty low key, not a lot of standing poses today. And if anything doesn't feel good, of course, don't do it. I'm going to recommend that you have a strap or some kind of towel or t-shirt, something that you can wrap around your foot to give yourself some space. But like I said, we're going to get started on our backs. So coming down with the knees bent, you can move any hair out of the way. And once I warm up a little bit, I will take this big bulky t-shirt off. But to start, we are going to extend the left leg down. The right knee stays bent with that foot planted on the ground. The left leg can relax completely. You don't need to flex the foot or point the toe, anything like that. Arms are by the side. All you're going to do is rock onto the outside edge of your foot and come back. So depending on your flexibility here, that knee might only come down maybe halfway. Maybe you're able to get it all the way on the ground. The goal is to keep the glutes down, the back neutral. So you can also play around with how far away your foot is from your sit bones. Moving the foot further away might be a little bit better. And you're just going to open up that hip. Hands can be on the belly or, like we started, hands by the sides. I feel a little bit more stable with my hands on my low belly. Also just reinforces that reminder of keeping the sit bones down and keeping the back neutral. Eyes are on the sky, neck is long. Just opening and then bringing that knee back up, straight up. So we're not doing any cross over the midline. We're stopping right when the foot is flat. Just a few more here. Good. Next time the knee is up, hold it there. and reach around, grab on to your shin. So pulling that knee into your chest. Right here, ankle circles. So rolling around in one direction, maybe clockwise for 4, 5, 6 reps. And then reversing directions. Start to deepen your breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. And then settle that ankle and start to pull the knee a little bit closer to your chest. Angle the knee slightly up towards the right shoulder. You should feel some kind of groundedness through the low back. Maybe if you have any knots there, or if your glutes are sore, you might be feeling a little bit of tension. It should feel good though to add that extra pressure downwards. Keep pulling the knee towards the right shoulder, just opening up through the hip. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale. Bring that knee back in line with the hip. Good. And then cross over the body. You're not going to go all the way though. Bring the knee back up and cross over the midline. So we're going to the left. Okay, just a real gentle cross. Knee in line with the hip. Just over and back. A few more times. So I'm not counting, you're not counting, we're just moving. Doesn't really matter how many times we're doing things. There's not a lot of weight-bearing exercises here. We're just opening up different areas of our hip joint right now. The glute. Take one more breath. Bring that knee to center and then relax that leg down. All right, let everything just surrender to gravity here. Let the feet flop out, maybe shaking the legs. And just notice the difference. That was a little bit of work for me. Maybe it was a little bit of work for you. Take another breath in and exhale. We're going to do the same thing the other side. This time the right leg stays straight, relaxed, left foot planted. We're going to go out to the left, rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot, and then coming back to center. So let it go as the leg go as far as it will without sacrificing the neutral spine or the sit bones. You want those to stay planted on the mat. Take a couple of deep breaths. Hands on low belly or hands by your side. If you happen to be sitting all day, you can actually bring your hands overhead. Might feel nice to have that extra length through the spine. Just take a few more breaths here. Opening up, moving the foot further away if that feels good. Closer if that feels good. Listen to your body here. We do not want to cause any extra stress or strain. Good. Next time the knee is up, keep it there. Grab onto the shin. And if this feels like too much, you can also grab onto the back of the leg, so the hamstring. Ankle circles several times in one direction. And then reverse. All the way around. Nice. And then grab onto that shin if you're not already and start to pull the knees straight in towards the chest first. Good. So nice and aligned with the hip. And then a slight angling towards the left shoulder. And if you're feeling any stress in your knee, again, maybe grab onto the back of the leg instead. Give yourself, so maybe not as sharp a bend in the knee. Especially after a lot of walking, cycling, running, whatever you're doing. Tight quads can add a little bit of pressure to the knee, tightness around the knee, especially. I feel like you just can't stretch enough sometimes after long activities like that. So if you're feeling a little bit of tension there, It's okay. It's nothing to be concerned about. Just need some more stretching through the quads. If you're like me and your quads just feel like mush today, stretching doesn't really feel like it's doing much, but it is. A little bit more. Take one more breath in. And then exhale. Start to release, bringing the knee over the hip and then that cross over the midline. So now you'll see my left knee moving over to the right, trying to keep that left sit bone on the ground. So if it's starting to lift, you've gone a little bit too far. Relax the foot. Take a couple more breaths. Neutral spine, neutral neck. Breathe in, breathe out. And then bring that knee back to center. Release the leg down, shake it out. Let the hips just fall, let the feet fall out. And take a moment here, arms overhead, get a nice full body stretch. Go ahead, let the legs stretch, maybe pointing the toes or flexing the feet, whatever feels better. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the shins. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Take a deep breath. And exhale, feet relax on the ground. Good. So back in bridge pose, this time both feet planted. Right ankle over left knee. We're creating that figure four. Great. And now it's going to be nice to have your strap or your towel or your t-shirt or whatever nearby. You might not need it, but I want you to just have it as a safety net. There's a few things you can do here. One is just hang out, actively moving the right knee away from you, keeping that right foot flexed. You should feel the activation through the hips and the glute already. You could bring that left foot closer to your sit bones. That might also feel nice. And again, you can stay right here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can grab onto the back of your left thigh, your hamstring, bringing everything closer to you, keeping that activation. So keeping that right knee moving away, right foot flexed. And this is a place where you could use that strap or t-shirt if you wanted to bring things in, but you don't want to bring them in that close. You can use the strap or the t-shirt to support your leg. Meet your body where it is today, not where it was last week, not where you want it to be. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And there are a few more ways to build off of this. You could grab onto the shin instead. I'm just going to pull things even closer. But if you've got sensitive knees today, you could also straighten, grab onto the calf that way, as long as the sit bones are still rested. Options. I'm not even going to try the straight leg today. My knees feel okay. I could use my shin. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Keep the muscles active, moving that right knee away, flexing that right foot. Last breath. And then let everything come down. You're going to stay like this. So left foot planted. Take your strap or your t-shirt, wrap it around the ball of your foot, and extend that leg straight up. If you don't have something to use, you can grab onto your hamstring. You do not need to have your knee locked straight. A micro bend would actually be better to activate the muscles throughout the leg. Let the shoulders relax. This is what the strap or the t-shirt or the towel are for, so you don't have this curve through your upper back. Your shoulders are relaxed, upper back is flat and flush with the ground. And then what you could do is move your hands higher on the strap or higher on your leg, moving things closer. I already feel a shake, just right here, perpendicular to the ground. Take a few breaths. I hope in that explaining how my body is feeling throughout class, you can have some peace of mind knowing that you're not alone. If you're feeling extra tight or if something's feeling more difficult than it maybe has in the past. One more breath in. Slowly start to bend the knee. Move your hands or your strap. Rest that foot on the ground. Separate the feet max width distance apart and a little windshield wiper rolling onto the edges of the feet, back and forth. I'm right against the wall here, so let the knees fall all the way down as far as they will go. You can let your hips lift a bit. And then we've got another side to do. How nice that we are still on our backs, right? Cross that left ankle over the right and start to set up your figure four stretch on this side. Hips in alignment, sit bones down, actively moving that left knee away from you, flexing through the right foot. So you've got some good activation happening here. Upper back, middle back, lower back on the ground. And then start to build on it. So maybe that right foot just comes closer. Whew. I felt that in my hamstring. Take another breath in. Exhale. And then start to build on it in the same way that you did the other side. And like I say all the time, we're not working for symmetry. We're not trying to reach the exact same place or same look as we had on the other side. They might look different because they feel different. We're working for a similar sensation. So similar level of stretch, strain, whatever you want to call it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Good. And you're here for a few more breaths, building off of this as you did on the other side, either grabbing the shin or extending the leg straight up. Eyes on the side, shoulders relaxed. Make sure you're keeping your neck nice and long. We're not going to ignore the shoulders and the neck today. That is for sure. When we are tired in the rest of our bodies, or when we're tired working at our desks or whatever we have to do, we tend to, go sit on the couch or slouch a little bit more, just get a little bit more comfortable. But that, because you're not working your back and your core as much, or you're not able to use them as much to support you, you're going to feel a little bit of tightness in other areas of the body. I spent time on the couch today with the computer, so I'm with you if you were there. Take a couple more breaths. My core is tired. My triceps were tired. Little aches and pains throughout the day. After your next exhale, start to release by bringing that right foot back to the ground. You're going to take that strap, towel, what have you, around the ball of your foot and extend that leg straight. Watch what this right knee is doing. Make sure it's pointed up towards the sky, the thigh and the knee are in line with your hip. Foot is planted, and then shoulders relaxed, upper back on the ground. Breathing into that hamstring. Slight bend in the knee. We want the muscles slightly activated. Take a deep breath in. Exhale.
Easing off or adding a little bit more by reaching higher on your strap, pulling the leg closer. Don't overdo it. Take a few more breaths. We're going to get to the hamstrings again later, so this isn't your only chance to get them. This is the warm-up, the wake up. Make sure they're still there. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, start to bend the knee, release. Place that foot on the ground. This time, bring the feet together to touch. Open the knees out to the side. Supta Baddha Konasana, your reclined butterfly pose. And if it doesn't feel so great, don't do it. You can do the windshield wiper from side to side. If you have pillows or blocks or something else nearby, you can always stick them under your upper thighs, the outsides of your thighs, to support your legs. We're only here for a few breaths. If you need it, bounce, do something a little bit more dynamic. If you're okay and you're just dealing with a heightened sensation, just breathe through it. We're coming off of our backs next, whether we like it or not. So I want you to start to visualize where we're going. We're coming to hands and knees, and we're going to do some cat and cows. We're going to do some child's pose. We're going to do some thread the needle with our arms. It's all on deck. When you're ready, start to bring those knees back up. Pull the knees into your chest. And if you're feeling it, give yourself a little rock and roll. Otherwise, just somehow gracefully make your way into tabletop position. Up and over the knees. Knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Neck neutral. Drop the belly, lift the head, lift the tail. And then exhale, round. Pulling the belly button up towards the spine. Inhale, look forward. Crown of head goes up, tailbone goes up, and then exhale, round. Good. Continue here, a few breaths. On that cow pose, feeling that stretch through upper abs. Belly button in. Feel that stretch through the back, thoracic spine, upper back. Okay. When you feel good, satisfied with the amount of cat and cows you've done, come into a nice neutral back and look over your right shoulder, sticking the right hip out to the side. Inhale through center, and then other side. Look at the left hip. Try to keep the back flat as you move, just laterally, getting a nice stretch on the side body, the obliques. It's after a tough workout or a long run or a race where I feel sore in areas of my body where I didn't think I was really working. Like my abs are really sore. My obliques feel sore now that I'm moving like this. And that's why in our runners' strength classes, we're working on those obliques, why the core is so important. It's supporting us whether you feel it in the moment or not. All right, settle into that flat back. Bring the knees mats width distance apart, big toes touch, and start to sit the hips back, finding that child's pose. Arms go forward, spread the fingers. You can let your forearms rest on the mat. If you need support, you can put a pillow on top of your heels. Give yourself a little lift. Put a block under there. Give yourself a little lift. If it really just doesn't feel like it's coming together for you today, you can rest on your forearms. Just come up a bit more. Especially if the sensation in your hips it's feeling not nice. Take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're feeling ready, make your way back up to tabletop position. So for me, child's pose is feeling like a nice place. I want to be there a little bit longer. You have the option to do thread the needle from here, from tabletop position, or child's pose. So what it's going to look like is your left arm is going to lift up, open up. And if you're staying in tabletop, you're going to thread the needle, dropping the left shoulder down, left side of the face down, and your hips are going to stay over your knees. If you are also really liking child's pose, you're just going to sit back on the heels and same thing. You'll thread underneath, bringing yourself low. Getting that nice stretch through the right side of the body, but also that twist and that stretch through the shoulder. A few breaths here. Start to bring yourself upright. Of course, stay longer if it feels really good. Find neutral again. Maybe cat and cow if you need it. Right arm is going to lift this time. Thread the needle. If your hips are staying over your knees, then here you are. You can reach that left arm forward. If you're going back to child's pose, sit the hips back first. Stretching that left arm forward, thread the right underneath. Right cheek down. A few breaths. See if in the upper body you can let gravity take over. You want to have some engagement through the core to support your back. If you are in the tabletop position, if you're in child's pose, you can surrender a little bit more. Deep breaths. Coming off our backs is not so bad when this is where we're headed. So take a moment to enjoy this nice grounded practice. We are going to get into those legs a little bit more in just a second. So enjoy this while you have it. And then when you're ready, come on up. Find tabletop position. Again, a few cat and cows if you need them. Maybe some circles through the spine, through the ribs. You are going to move the hands slightly ahead of you. Tuck your toes. We're doing it. We're going up. Downward facing dog. Oh, man. If down dog is not feeling good for you, again, you can do this from your knees. You can just get a little puppy pose. That might be it for you today. Pedal out the feet, bend one knee, bend the other, or just hang out in what feels like the least perfect down dog you've ever done. You're feeling tight through your low back, through your hips, through your hamstrings. It feels like way more work than usual, right? So just take a few deep breaths, spread the fingers, press the hands firmly into the mat. Inner rotation of the elbows. So elbows are going down towards the mat, trying to spiral in towards the midline of the body. Gives you a little openness through the arms, through the shoulders. And then a soft bend in the knee to let that tailbone lift up a little bit more. Those deep breaths out the mouth needed right now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Look forward between your hands. Step the right foot there. Don't worry, don't worry. Slide that back knee down on the ground already. Runner's lunge. You can come up on your fingertips. If you happen to have 2 blocks, you can come up on those. I'm feeling okay with fingertips on the ground. Hips moving forward, both hips moving forward and down. Right knee over that right ankle. You can let your belly, your chest rest on the thigh. Eyes on your big toe. Maybe slightly ahead. Lengthen the neck. Whew, and then just deep breaths through that hip. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Doing awesome here. So today, I don't think I ever said this ever in class, but we're doing a 45-minute flow. You're almost at the end. We've got 15 minutes left. We have a little bit more hips. We're going to get into hamstrings in just a few breaths. And then we're back on our backs to finish in a nice, chill, reclined meditation of sorts. Start to walk the hands back, straightening the front leg and lifting the right toes. Okay, so I want you to look at this left knee, make sure it's directly underneath the hip. You're not letting that left hip go out to the left. Pull the left hip so it's over the knee. You're on your fingertips or your blocks. If you're having a hard time here, I want you to soften the right knee just a little bit and breathe. Breathe deeply. For me, the sensation is a lot through my glutes, right into the upper hamstring. That is where I'm feeling it the most. And I am not going very deep into this just yet because that sensation is pretty intense for me. I'm going to just flex my right toes a little bit more, pulling them towards my body, bringing the stretch a bit more into my calf, just lengthening the muscles on the back of the leg, giving myself a little bit of stretch without needing to move at all. If you are feeling good, you can start to move the hips back a little bit more. Maybe you tuck the left toes for a little bit of support, but you can move the hips back, bringing the stretch more into the hamstring. You could also move the right heel forward, whatever is going to create more length. Oh my goodness, 2 more breaths. Lengthen the neck, look forward. Shoulders back. And then start to walk the hands. Front. Plant the palms, lift the back knee right into downward facing dog. Other side, take a deep breath in. Exhale. And then look forward. Step the left leg between the hands. Slide back, drop that back knee, untuck the toes. And here we are, back in a runner's lunge. Fingertips. Left knee over ankle. Good. So you've got this nice straight line here, perpendicular with your mat. Moving the hips forward and then letting them sink down. You're going to feel that opening through the right hip. Breathing as deep as you need to breathe to get you through it. And just back off if you are feeling that tightness through your knee. Maybe your knee is just coming a little bit too far forward on that left leg. You can just pull it back a little bit. Play around with where the back knee is resting, where the front foot is resting. Maybe it needs to move out to the side a bit more. You can make adjustments. Once you land here, you're not stuck. We're breathing through the sensation, but if something feels a little bit off, I want you to explore to find something that feels a little bit better or more in alignment with where your body is today. Start to walk the hands back, watching that right hip, make sure it stays over the knee, and then flex that left foot. I know I'm black on a black backdrop here, but soft bend in the knee. Just moving the hips back, 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 creating that stretch through the hamstring. And I'm going to just really focus on flexing my left foot, pulling the toes towards my body, lengthening the back of the leg. So again, I'm not needing to move very much. It's intensifying the stretch just with that motion, just with that flex. Deep breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Just a few more. And then start to walk those hands forward when you're ready. If you want to linger there longer, you be my guest. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, find your way back to downward facing dog, whether it takes one big step or many steps. Pedal out the feet. Give your hamstrings a little bit more love. Your calves, the tops of your feet. Start to make this bigger. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes, stretching the top of the foot, bottom of the foot, pressing the heel down towards the ground, getting a stretch to the calf muscle. Maybe it travels up the hamstring today because they are tight. And take your time. You don't need to keep switching so fast. You can hold one position. See if you can get into a deeper area of the body, the legs, the feet. Another breath in. And exhale. From here, this is as tall as we're going to get. We're going to walk the feet in towards the center of the mat. Walk the hands to meet. We're in a forward fold. We're not going to go any higher than this. Just a flat back. Soften the knees. Flat back. Inhale. Crown of head goes forward. Tailbone goes back, creating length through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Just a couple more here. Just move through it. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. If there's something else you need today before we get back on our backs, this is your chance. Take a couple moments, a few breaths to maybe move through a salutation, to go back to down dog, whatever you feel like you need today. You have a little bit of time. We're going to take our time getting onto our backs. So for those of you coming with me, hands on the ground, bend the knees a lot. Not a yoga pose, just bending the knees so we can sit on our sit bones. Come all the way down, back on the ground, hugging the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and a little rock from side to side. All right. So for the next few moments of class, we are going to finish with a twist. And as we move through the twist, the spinal twist, I'm going to offer a little bit of a meditation for us to focus on. If you have other poses that you were really craving today, whether it's pigeon or I don't know, whatever it is, as long as it's restful for you, you could do that instead. As we move through this, we're going to do a twist on each side. So if you're doing something two-sided, you'll just switch with us. Little creative freedom here. All right, let's all meet here on our backs, feet flat. If you're going into some other pose, you go there. If you're coming along with me, what we're going to do is cross the left leg over the right. We're going to move the right foot just a little heel toe to the left, just an inch or two. And then everything is going to fall to the right. Now, if this is feeling way too intense for you today, your arms are out in a T or straight. Sorry, a T or goalpost. I'm goalpost. If it's feeling too intense for you, uncross, just let both knees fall. If that is still feeling too intense for you, it's actually feeling like a lot for me today. Then right leg is straight and left knee is crossed. Use your hands for support if you need them. Close the eyes. And let's keep the eyes on the sky. Our heads straight up, face straight up. If you need to move your hair out of the way, ponytails, buns, do what you need to do to make this as restful as possible. With the eyes closed, I want you to also seal the lips. We're going to take a breath in for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold. Then exhale for 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. You're going to continue that. Inhale for a count of 3. Holding the breath at the top, just a pause. And then exhale for 3, 2, 1. Continue that breath, counting for 3. Holding, exhaling for 3. On your own. Let the belly rise and fall. Trying your best to focus on the breath. Noticing the sensation of in your body, but as long as it's not strained or pain, you're okay. Just breathe through it. Next time you exhale, you're going to ease out of this, bringing both knees back into your chest and holding. We're going to do something similar on the other side, but instead of counting to 3, you're going to choose 3 words, affirmations, a mantra to repeat as you count instead. So a very simple example being the mantra, I am strong. 3 words. You'll inhale, I am strong. Hold, and you'll exhale, I am strong. If there's 3 words or a goal or something you are trying to manifest in your life, you could use that instead. So take a moment to think about it. You can use I am strong. I am enough. I am full. Strong, full, enough. 3 words. When you've got them, you're going to rest those feet on the ground, cross that right knee over. Left foot moves slightly to the right, and then over to the side we go. adjusting as you need to. Arms out like a T or goalpost. Backing off if it doesn't feel good. Eyes on the sky. Close them, seal the lips, and begin. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. You inhale that mantra, those words of affirmation in, you hold them, and you exhale them out. So as you inhale, it's like inhaling it, breathing it in, making it a reality within yourself. Exhaling it out, putting it out into the universe. It's ready to make it happen. Take a couple more rounds here. When you feel satisfied, you'll start to bring things back to center, aligning those hips, hugging the knees into your chest. And like always, we'll end class with whatever resting pose you are craving today, whether it is corpse pose, shavasana, whether it's Supta Baddha Konasana, which we've done earlier, or legs up a wall. You go for it. I'm going to settle you in, and then I'm going to leave you there for as long as you need today. Go ahead and release. Find that final resting pose and bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly if that feels right. Eyes are still closed. Lips are sealed. And you've got a nice steady breath cultivated in through the nose and out the nose. Resting here for as long as you need. Namaste.